What's up, guys? Movie buff. Talking Charlie's Angels International. That's a tongue twister, kind of. So this is the new take on the Charlie's Angels franchise. This was directed by Elizabeth Banks, so it's a little bit different, but they still do include kind of like a little bit of a montage, if you will, of the old Angels movies with Cameron Diaz, Drew Barrymore, and Lucy Liu. So that was kind of cool that they at least tried to tie it in a little bit. And honestly, I think they did a pretty decent job doing so. But the movie starts out basically with Charlie, Patrick Wilson, you know, the one that was, Bosley in the last iteration. He's retiring now, and he's kind of built this Angels organization up like internationally. So there's tons of Bodleys. There's hundreds of Bosleys all around the nation and internationally. And they're all like, via satellite. There's like this little room and stuff. And they're like all kind of throwing a little party and stuff. And Elizabeth Banks is kind of like, in a sense, she's taking over his branch, like, the main. And she was the first Angel to ever be promoted and stuff. So they kind of set the scene of the hierarchy there. And then we go into the main story, which the main antagonist, the girl, she is like a scientist on like this. It's called the Calypso Project, and it's like a little cube basically that can interface and be hacked with anything electronically, but it's made for like clean energy for the world. So it's like this all-purpose energy source and stuff, but there's a problem with it. There's a slight issue with it that it can be malfunctioned, and when it does, it can actually give humans like aneurysms, like a seizure, like a heart attack. So it's like EMP on the senses to the brain. And her boss is kind of like this corporate Fortune 500 douchebag who's like doesn't care about if it's safe or not. We have a deadline to hit, and this is how we're going to do it, and it's supposed to be out, so he doesn't care. And so she goes to him with concerns of like, I can fix this, I just need more time. And he's like, no, he just kind of brushes her off or whatever. And it wasn't like in a like a threatening way, but he basically is like, you're too smart to keep trying to change my mind. Like you need to leave this alone. So anyways, she goes and she's basically gets on the Angels blip, the radar for this Calypso Project, because it is a big deal. They could basically kill anyone if it was weaponized. They could kill anyone and there would be no trace, because there's no bullets, it's just an EMP to the senses. So it's a huge assassination basically device for any political head figure or anybody that they would want to target. And so of course you have this amazing piece of human technology that's going to be weaponized for the wrong purpose. And of course the Angels want to keep it out of harm's way, so that's how she gets on their radar. And it like basically there's another branch that's wanting the Calypso Project to be weaponized, that's trying to kill her, trying to assassinate her. So she's in a mission that she doesn't even know she's in a mission. And while the mission goes awry, these new Angels are basically like, okay, we're going to take you under our little Charlie's Angel wing and show you the ropes, kind of. And this girl's not just useless. I mean, she's a world-class hacker. She's a scientist. She's brilliant. She knows how to work her feminine ways, which, that's kind of what Charlie's Angels do. They use their beauty and feminism and sexiness to their advantage. And they definitely played that up a little bit in this movie, which I liked, because we're in such a Me Too movement and everybody thinks, oh, that's terrible for them to do. It's not if it's done correctly and tastefully. And it was in this movie. And I will say another thing, they rode that line of empowering, females very, very great, because it's like, we get it, women can be badasses, like it doesn't always have to be men, but at the same time, we don't want to have it shoved down our fucking throat, Hollywood, and that goes with all races, genders, sexual preferences and everything. Like, we get it. It's a choice. Like, live your life, whatever, do you. But we don't need it shoved down our fucking throats. And I thought they did a really good job of like riding that line of like, okay, these are badass women, these are empowered women, but they're not feminist fucking dickheads, you know? So that was really refreshing to me, honestly. And to basically go into the movie without spoilers is just them trying to keep this Calypso project out of the hands of the bad guys. And that's basic movie. There's a few twists that I won't go into, but it's very interesting and it makes a lot more sense on why she was the one that was chosen and why it kind of like the story progressed how it did with this certain girl. It makes a lot of sense. Like toward the end of the movie, it's all explained and it's explained well. It wasn't just hodgepodge together. But the action in this movie is actually really great and really fun. It's you know, your sci-fi, I won't say sci-fi, your thriller, espionage spy, kind of like a female James Bond, which is kind of like what these are. And they definitely use the gadgetry and all the weaponizing and stuff like that. They play that up. They have a lot of hand-to-hand combat scenes you can kind of see here, kind of like Krav Maga style wrestling and fighting, which was really cool. And it was really well done. It was really well filmed. So I give Elizabeth Banks props on, you know, this is not her directorial debut, but this is her second movie that she's done and stuff. And she's really coming along nicely as far as a director in her own skin. But for the most part, I mean, I wasn't mad at this movie. This movie was fine. I found it enjoyable. It wasn't nothing to write home about. I mean, I had some time to kill. You know, it's a free movie, whatever. I go in and see it. Like I said, if you're a fan of just badass females kicking ass, you know, being sexy, you know, doing their thing on screen, or you're a fan of just the Charlize franchise, you know, whether it be the old ones or this new iteration, they're all kind of in the same vein. They still have that comedy, they still have that humor, they have the sexiness, they have the espionage aspect and the spy thriller. So, you know, it's definitely worth a try. If everything, you get to the theater and everything else is sold out, you know, and this is the only thing that's playing, you're not going to be mad that you went to see this. This was a decent movie. So until next time, guys, see you at the movies.